What's going on, YouTube? It's your boy Thomas, and today I'm going to be reviewing my entire Supreme accessories collection, why I bought each item, my favorite thing about them, some previous items I no longer have, and a couple other things, so stick around to the end.
Sup, Thomas.
Alright, first accessory is the Supreme marker set from, I believe, Spring/Summer 22. This previous year. Honestly, I just love the way the packaging looks. It's magic ink, and it's got all this Japanese branding on it, which I thought was pretty neat. I love just the way it looks, the title, you know, the Supreme and the katakana, and just everything about it. It's really cool. It's an 8-piece marker set with some of these colors here. Looks really clean. I love the way the box logo looks on all those different markers. So really dig it. And I could see myself selling this because I don't plan on actually using these, but during that week, I just wanted to cop something from Supreme, and this was pretty much the only thing that caught my eye. I got a couple of these, but these are the Supreme Smarties candy bracelets or candy necklace, I think, that came as the last free gift of all time from Spring/Summer 22, and I have 3 of them. I have a third one over here, and this is just kind of sad because we no longer get free gifts with our purchases from Supreme, just as a way to adjust or, you know, account for inflation and the economy. I don't know, man, it sucks because some of the best items that we used to always get were just free. And I guess I'll show another free gift since I'm already on that track. This is the Supreme Parachute Man, and he's pretty cool. It's just called the Parachute Toy, and it was from Fall/Winter 2019. It says that on the back here. So this is pretty neat. It's a parachute guy. I believe I had at least one other one that I threw up in the rafters in my previous apartment. I had it hanging from the big lamp or the big the fan, you know, and we'd sometimes zing him around and just see what kind of fun stuff we could do. But yeah, this parachute guy, he looks pretty good in his packaging, so we're gonna keep him in there. He's got his little army gun. Love the fact that he's red, and of course the parachute says Supreme on it. Ooh, the world's smallest water gun right here. This little super soaker is pretty funny. I believe this came out maybe also in 2019. Could have been 2018 Spring/Summer. I'll put the dates right here just to confirm when these things came out, but I thought this thing was really funny. It's a little keychain. You know, it was pretty cheap. It was like maybe 16 bucks or less. Like, we used to get really cheap accessories, and nowadays I feel like the price is just going up and up like everything else. But definitely a funny piece that I could see myself parting with in the future, but for now, it looks pretty good sitting on my shelf as decoration. All right, the next one is pretty funny. It's an incomplete accessory. This is the water bottle thermos, you know, protector or warmer case, whatever you want to call it. But I think it was also in 2019, this Supreme water bottle that always comes out pretty much every year in the springtime came out. I bought it and I kept it around for maybe a good 3 weeks before I moved to a different house. And in the process of moving, using a U-Haul, I don't know what happened to that. I think I left it in the U-Haul, to be completely honest, and someone else found it, took it, but I was able to keep the case, the little carry-on strap, adjustable. You know what I'm talking about, guys. This is the grip that goes around the water bottle. Come on. I don't always have the right words, but it does still say Supreme on it, and I was pretty salty when I lost the full water bottle, so I actually offered to give this away to someone for free. So, hey, comment on this video and maybe I'll send you this if you want it. Let's get 10 likes and 3 comments, and maybe you can get this little thermos water bottle cover if you want it. It could just be trash to you because it's kind of just decoration to me. But that decoration does come in handy for our next accessory, the Supreme Voodoo Doll.
Have you or someone you love been plagued by voodoo? If so, call me, Merv Ferens, Voodoo Lawyer.
Oh my God, this guy is so interesting. He's got so many interesting little things that he says. You know, It's got No Wi-Fi, Lose Mind, Paper Cut, Suffer for What You Have Done, Bitch Assness, Blackout, Nightmares, Shook, Bad Karma, Double Cross, Pimp Slapped, Bedbugs, Evicted, Go Broke, No Love, Eternal Pain, No Future, Robbed, Locked Up, Haunted, Bag Trip, STD, Shit, Rest and Piss. So pretty funny, very edgy, and it does actually come with voodoo doll pins. So if you are into witchcraft and want to curse somebody, Supreme made that available for you. I don't know what these guys go for these days, but I feel like they could be kind of expensive. Who knows? It's very funny. I have not cursed anybody yet with this guy, but he sits in his little Supreme, case right here, and the voodoo doll pins chill down below him just in case we got to pull out the voodoo doll.
Voodoo
You never know.
lawyer.
Next up, we've got a little book. This is Araki for Supreme, and I don't know if this was a free gift or if I purchased it or if it came with an order, but it's a really cool art book on the Supreme Araki collaboration, or Araki, as they would say. Pretty cool stuff. I very rarely flip through this book, but when I do, I'm reminded that, it's a pretty neat collection. It's got some interesting pictures in it. Very bondage inspired. Shout out to the freaks out there. But it's a cool little piece. It's got some interesting photographs in it. I like the cover. The back is cool. Got the Supreme on the bottom. Just something to put in my bookcase. Next up, one of the first mass-produced items from Supreme was the Band-Aids. So we've had the Kraft macaroni and cheese since then, and a couple other similar items, the chapstick. Basically, they just team up with Johnson & Johnson or any of the major, commodities brands and just come out with something silly like this. Supreme Band-Aids, you can see that I've obviously used it over the years. I bought a few of them. I think I bought a pack of 4, and they've lasted me quite a while, but anytime I get a little boo-boo paper cut, you can flex on people. And this thing gets a lot of comments because a lot of people know that I like Supreme and they just think it's hilarious that I have Supreme Band-Aids. And I always laugh with them too because I'm not taking it seriously. I'm not trying to flex with my Supreme Band-Aids. I mean, a little bit, but it's mostly just a lighthearted joke that Supreme did in fact actually make Band-Aids. And this is one of those accessories that's perfect to use. This is not gonna ever be that collectible because it was so mass produced, but it is fun to actually use it. And when you need to use a Band-Aid, you can have a Supreme one instead. And it's just great. This is a pretty small one. It's just a Supreme pin. This is the Power Violence pin. It says, I love Power Violence Supreme. And I used to kind of be a pin guy, and you know what? Maybe I'll stick this on one of my hats. I have a lot of hats, and I've picked up a few recently that I haven't put any pins in. And after shooting this video, I think I'm gonna do that because this guy, he just sits on my desk, all lonesome. No one shows him love, and I do love a little power, a little bit of violence, so why not? Supreme Power Violence pin. Or the next one's kind of depressing. It is the Supreme flip phone. Now guys, if you don't know, Supreme released a blue flip phone, trap phone, but it was a little burner phone, and it was so cool. It was the first and only item I've ever paid resale for, after a drop. I don't really typically buy things if I miss out on the original drop, and I paid $100 and something bucks for this phone, 120 or something. I just needed to have it. It was so funny to me. I remember taking some pictures on it, and I really wish I still had it, but the truth is, I went down to New Orleans.
You go to New Orleans for spring break on a whim.
I was driving a red 370Z at the time.
You order some drinks like people do. You're not paying attention. You're in love. Oops, you've spilled your drink on a high voodoo priest.
Parked outside of the Airbnb, and I left my fucking doors unlocked, and
next thing you know, you're bopping snakes.
I'm lucky they only took my Supreme burner phone because they could have taken a lot more, but I still have the original packaging. I was actually trying to sell this on eBay for a while. Had some bids too, but I don't know. This is definitely something I could part with, but I do miss my Supreme burner phone. It got stolen from me, but you know, New Orleans gives and New Orleans takes away. So you know what? You know, that's just the price you had to pay sometimes, is one Supreme burner phone. Next up, we have the Supreme Zippo lighter. This is in that really cool rainbow brush finish. It's very reflective. This thing it's been just sitting on my shelf, no butane in it. And this is making me also, I don't know, I want to get to be a Zippo guy. Remember Zippo guys? When you were at a certain age, it was like the coolest thing if you knew a guy who could like flip open his Zippo and light a cig or something. I don't know, I never got good at the tricks, and this is the only Zippo that I have, but I think it's pretty cool. The Supreme has not faded over time, and I'm a fan of it. All right, next we have the Supreme X Undercover coin purse. Now this cost a pretty penny. I think it was almost 60 to 80 bucks, and this must have come out in 2017 or 2016. It's definitely been in my collection for a while. Little stick of dynamite, couple sticks, Supreme on it. I really don't use this, and I don't know what I would use it for. If you're still watching, I appreciate you. Comment down below, what would you use a Supreme coin purse for? Would you put rare coins in it? Would you put money in it? I think at a certain point, I did keep like some stash of money in here, but no longer do I do that. It's fully empty, but really nice little zipper on the back. I actually don't want to. Oh, let's do it. Fuck it. We got anything in there? Nope, totally empty. But really nice leather on this. It's very high quality, so I love this bag, and I don't think I would part with it, but of course, for the right price, everything really is for sale. So I have a couple more items, but I'm gonna get into my favorite piece of all time. I don't know if I've talked about it enough on this channel. I re-uploaded one of my videos that I did a long time ago on a channel I have called Anime Fashion that I no longer upload to. I did a full breakdown review of the Supreme Akira collaboration and why it's my favorite collab of all time. I love anime, I love Akira, and when Supreme teamed up with them, I knew I had to cop this. This is the ARM ashtray featuring Tetsuro and Kei, and this is a manga only panel, but she's given him an injection of his I believe it was the drugs that they use in that show for him. When he started to get the powers of Akira, he got really sick and would kind of go crazy, out of control, so he needed to be given drugs to stay kind of conscious and with it. And it's a very, very cool piece. These are very expensive, very rare. It's fully ceramic. It's gotten a little bit dirty over the years. I clean it up every once in a while. And on the back, we see the Supreme branding and a little bit of information. But yeah, really happy I have this piece. I actually bought it from a friend who copped it. During that time, we were all copping Supreme. I didn't get this on the drop. I got the long sleeve bomb t-shirt, which I love, or the long sleeve shirt. And you know, I always tell myself, man, I should have copped more, but I have to remember I have two great pieces from that collab, and for that, I'm really grateful. I really love this. It's a great piece of art. You know, it's a nice ceramic tray. You can put your keys in it, you know, incense, but right now, I just keep it on my bookshelf and look at it a couple times a day. All right, the next one's kind of funny. It's the Supreme Jean Paul Gaultier cologne. It's completely empty. I mean, there's nothing there. Oh, maybe a little bit. You can still kind of smell it. Come on, guys, smell-o-vision right here. But this is really cool. I kept it because the actual bottle is interesting. It's got the blue stripes on the white mannequin, and you got the bulge right there. Shout out to the Bulge Boys. And it's a little bit of like a velvet holder right here. It's just a really cool piece. You know, I keep it in this guy right here, this little cylinder. But Supreme Jean Paul Gaultier cologne, released it 2019. At some point, and it smelled really good. I loved me some cologne, so I had to cop it. Supreme Burberry skate deck. Now, the Burberry drop is actually what got me back into Supreme in spring, summer 2022. I actually hadn't copped from Supreme in about 2 years, really. Maybe a few things here or there, but nothing major. This drop got me back into it. I love Burberry, have for many years, and seeing them team up with Supreme was just so cool to me. I still want a hoodie, I still want a box logo, but in due time, I don't typically pay resale for stuff, so for me, it's like I'm probably waiting for all the good deals, but you know, it's where I'm at. So Supreme Burberry skate deck, I was able to cop 2 because my mom got one as well. I couldn't believe it, so I sold one for like 200, kept this one basically for free, and it's gonna be a long-term hold, but if this ever reaches like worth $500, I'll probably sell it because honestly, it's cool, but at a certain age, you know, it's like, how long am I gonna keep a Burberry skateboard hanging up on my wall? But for now, it's really cool. I just love it. It was the first Supreme skate deck I ever purchased, and yeah, I think it's really cool. This deck is actually for sale. If you guys want a Supreme Tekken skate deck x Yoji Yamamoto, my favorite designer of all time by you. Hope you know that. Let me know because this thing is crazy. I do really love it, and part of me wants to keep it, but also part of me is like, do I need it? I've never been a big Tekken fan, but just seeing those like PS1, PS2 graphics was just so cool. We got the Yoji Yamamoto signature right there, the box logo. It is really cool. I do love the front of it too. I bought some hangers for it like 3 months ago, guys, and it's just been sitting on my sim racing chair for 3 months, just completely collecting dust, which is sad because I own it like hanging up, dude, but part of me wants to hang it up vertical, which I don't know how to do. And the other part is like, would this even look good if it was just the front? Because my ADD just doesn't let this happen, my OCD or whatever you want to call it. The fact that the heads are turned sideways, they can't be hanging like that. So I'd have to show the front, right? Well, that might be problematic when I have a skateboard hanging the right way below it. You see what I'm saying? Lots of first world problems here, guys. A lot of really big first world problems, but I do love this logo. It's crazy. And we do have one last item. So as you can see, we've transitioned to the kitchen. And for my last trick, I will show you, wait, where are they? My Supreme chopsticks that are missing. So I swear that I have them, but I don't know where they are. So unfortunately, all you get is the Supreme ramen spoon with a bowl that's also missing, unfortunately. I have a pretty big habit of losing my Supreme items, guys. It's unfortunate, but I have a red set of Supreme chopsticks that actually got, I put them through the wash and it completely melted off all the Supreme branding on the chopsticks. So if you're ever washing your Supreme accessories that have something printed on them, don't dishwash them. Just hand rinse them. You might think that's obvious, but to me, I'm a complete dumbass and I just totally wiped off the branding of them. The box still says Supreme, but the chopsticks are just red now. So I still think they're cool, but not as cool as they used to be. All right, I was editing my video today and I realized I forgot a few accessories, so I'm gonna run through it really quick. Hope you guys have appreciated the video so far. We do have the Supreme incense. Now this came as a 3-pack. My light is really drowning out the color, but it is pink. Can you see that? Yes, Supreme incense. I've saved these for so long, but every once in a while I pull them out. They are just incense matches and they're pretty neat. You know, they smell really good and I really enjoy just having them in my little collection. I'm such a hoarder. It's still just very reflective, but you can see Supreme incense on there with some gold flaking. The incense match is what it's called. And what else can you say? It's Supreme incense, so kind of cool. I also copped a bunch of the Supreme chapstick. I thought maybe it would be a decent long-term hold, so I copped a bunch, but the Supreme chapstick, guys, is not collectible at all. I mean, maybe very, very slightly, but I ended up just using most of them, giving them away as little stocking stuffers to my friends because it's funny to give someone Supreme chapstick, even if they don't like the brand, because why would Supreme team up with chapstick? I'm not sure. I don't really like chapstick. I feel like there's a lot of better. I mean, Burt's Bees easily beats it, and that's like base level nice chapstick. So I'm not gonna get into a chapstick war, but Supreme chapstick just in and of itself is hilarious. So had to get that. Once again, Supreme Ziploc, another one of those mass-produced commodity items by Johnson & Johnson. And it's just funny, dude. These are a quart-sized bag. And what can you say? It's a Supreme Ziploc bag. I use these to pretty much carry toiletries on planes, put sandwiches in, food, things that you put in Ziploc bags. And I guess I also have this Supreme bouncy ball that you can barely even see the Supreme lettering on it anymore after just years of use. But Supreme bouncy ball, come on, you couldn't script that. Appreciate you guys watching. It's been a pleasure reviewing and showing off my Supreme accessories collection. It's certainly not the most comprehensive or biggest collection ever, but it's just a number of items that have accrued over the years. And like I've said, I've gotten rid of other Supreme accessories. I used to have the beach ball. I had the cologne, like air freshener crown thing, just to name a few, a couple water bottles, a couple things that I've lost along the way, a few things that I've given away to friends, stuff like that. But hope you guys enjoyed the video today. And as always, peace and butt grease. Let's get ready for spring, summer 23. Stick around.